Hey everyone, I'm Mohammed Bilal and welcome back to Beyond the Basics. Today we are diving deep into a topic that is a true game changer in your career: external data management. This is where you really start to level up, moving beyond just one system and into this whole complex world of labs, vendors, and all kinds of specialized data.
I wanted to start with this because it is just so true. Your ability to confidently manage all this external data, that is a massive step forward. It shows you've got oversight, you can think critically, and you really see the whole picture of a clinical trial.
All right, let's get into it. First, we'll talk about why this external data is so important in the first place. Then we'll look at all the different sources you're going to see, how to actually manage what vendors send you, and the critical steps for making sure all your data is solid. And stick around, because at the end, I'm giving you a straightforward action plan you can use right away.
So, let's kick things off with the big picture. As you move into that intermediate CDM role, your whole mindset has to shift. It's not just about doing tasks inside the EDC anymore. It's about understanding and overseeing the entire data ecosystem of your study.
Think of it like this. You're going from being the guardian of one single castle, the EDC, to being the strategist who manages the flow of information between a whole network of allied fortresses. And each one of those fortresses, well, it's providing vital, unique intel that the whole mission depends on.
And yeah, this slide, it really gets to the heart of your new identity. You become the bridge. You are that central point, making sure the lab data from Germany perfectly matches the ECRF data from a clinic in Japan, so it's ready for a statistician in the US. This is a role with huge responsibility and huge value.
Okay, so now let's get into the specifics. What kinds of data are we even talking about here? Because understanding this web of information is absolutely the first step to mastering it.
Remember, everything comes back to your core EDC system. This is your home base, right? The system you already know inside and out. All the external data we're about to talk about, it all has to be reconciled and integrated with what's captured right here.
So what kinds of things are we plugging in? Well, you've got your central lab data, that's your crucial safety and efficacy numbers. Then you've got ePRO data, which is coming straight from patients through their phones or other devices. You could be dealing with really complex imaging files or even constant data streams from wearables. Each one has its own rules, its own format, its own timing.
Okay, so you have all these different data streams flying in from all these third-party vendors. How on earth do you manage it all effectively? Well, this part is all about you taking ownership of that external data quality right from the moment it hits your inbox.
Look, your process here has to be absolutely rock solid. Number one, always verify the data transfer followed the exact specs you agreed on. 2, confirm the data is complete and accurate every single time. And 3, and this is so important, if you see a discrepancy, you escalate it immediately. A single missing lab value or a mismatched ID can cause a massive domino effect if you don't catch it early.
And here is a simple, but I promise you, an incredibly powerful piece of advice. Keep a vendor deliverables tracker. It can be a simple Excel sheet, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it gives you a clear, real-time view of what you got, when you got it, and if it's been checked. Trust me, this little tool will save you from some major headaches down the line.
All right, so we've got the data in the door. Now comes the really crucial part: proving its integrity. Your job isn't just to collect data. It's to guarantee it's consistent, you can trace its history, and it's compliant. This is where reconciliation, traceability, and compliance become your best friends.
Reconciliation is really just about making sure all your data sources are telling the same story. So let's paint a picture. A patient uses an app on their phone to report a high heart rate. Your job is to check the EDC and see if the doctor recorded a matching adverse event, like tachycardia. If those two don't line up, you've got to dig in and find out why. That's real data management in action.
And of course, underpinning all of this is compliance. You absolutely have to get this right. You need to make sure vendor systems meet standards like 21 CFR Part 11. You have to maintain a full, complete audit trail for every single change. And you have to document every decision you make during reconciliation.
And it all boils down to this classic industry mantra, and it is absolutely true. To an auditor, to a regulator, if you can't show them a documented record of what you did, your checks, your decisions, then for all intents and purposes, it just didn't happen. Traceability is everything. All right, we have covered a lot, but knowledge is only useful when you put it into practice. So let's make this real. Here are 3 simple, concrete things you can do this week to start building these skills. First things first, pull up the vendor spec docs for one of your current studies. Go through them. Do you understand the data formats? Are the timelines clear?
This takes the theory and connects it directly to your day-to-day job.
Second, do it. Set up that deliverables tracker we talked about. If you don't have one, make one today. Start tracking what you expect to get, what you actually got, and the status of your quality checks. It'll help you stay organized and on top of things.
And third, you've got to get your hands dirty. Pick 2 different data sources from your study, say lab data and adverse event data, and just do a small reconciliation exercise. Confirming that those key data points actually match up is the best way to build your confidence.
So, as we wrap up, I want you to think about this question. What is your single biggest challenge with vendor data right now? Is it getting things on time, dealing with weird formats, something else? Pinpointing that challenge is the first step to overcoming it. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about it.
If you found this explainer helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next part of our Beyond the Basics series. New content goes live every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.